How did a referendum designed to strengthen the United Kingdom end up threatening its very foundations? Once the ruler of a vast empire, the United Kingdom sought to maintain its global influence by joining the European Union in 1973. However, the 2016 Brexit vote aimed to reverse this path, promising a resurgence of sovereignty and international prominence. We discuss Brexit's profound impact on the UK, from its political theatre to the tangible distress felt across its industries and public services. We'll examine the interplay of leadership and national aspiration that led to promises made and broken. Can the UK ever recover its lost status, or has Brexit irrevocably set the stage for a diminished role on the world stage? Was the Brexit campaign a strategic blunder that sold out the country for a mirage of past glory? Brexit, the Great British Gamble. Brexit pitched itself as a return to full British sovereignty, promising to reclaim control lost to the European Union. But what does that mean in practice? Sovereignty and borders. They said it was about taking back control, but was this about managing borders or a reaction against unwanted migration? Cultural continuity. The push to preserve Britishness drove much of the Brexit debate. Economic control. Brexit advocates promised liberation from EU constraints, envisioning a prosperous future of tailor-made trade deals. Status and strategy. Brexit was said to be an opportunity to make Britain powerful and respected in the world again, which some people thought EU membership had taken away. Brexit was presented as the path to a brighter, more independent future. But beneath the surface, were these goals attainable? Or did we witness a nation rolling the dice on its own destiny? What was promised and what was delivered? From farm fields to dinner plates, Brexit's heavy toll on UK agriculture. Brexit supporters confidently said the idea that farming will collapse after Brexit is absurd. But now, some are admitting farming disaster. Brexiteer admits many farmers will go out of business due to EU exit. The cost of farming and food has gone up a lot because of the new trade rules and the end of easy access to the EU market. This has made it harder for farms and food businesses to make money. It's become so tough that even everyday meals are affected. For example, prices have risen so much that some restaurants are now offering pizzas and pasta without tomatoes to cope. This is a big change from what Brexit promised, where food was supposed to get cheaper. Instead, the cost of British food has shot up by 80% in just 1 year. The NHS crisis worsens amid promises of prosperity. Brexit was promoted as a great thing for the NHS. If you vote for Brexit, you will get NHS money, new jobs, and repatriation of the illegals. Yet, the actual situation has veered dramatically off course, with the healthcare system grappling with severe strains as evidenced by headlines like "People pulling their own teeth amid NHS dental crisis." The sector is reeling from staff shortages, extreme wait times, and disrupted supply chains causing widespread medication shortages. Tighter controls lead to record numbers. Contrary to promises of tighter controls, the headline, "UK sets an immigration record as Brexit was never about stopping illegal immigrants," underscores a significant increase in immigration, directly contradicting earlier Brexit narratives. This surge has introduced new complexities into the debate over national identity and resource allocation. Long-term impact of Brexit on the UK economy. The UK's economy is currently 5% worse off than it would have been if it had remained in the EU. This economic downturn is attributed to a slump in trade and investment following the Brexit referendum. The UK's GDP per capita has stagnated since the COVID-19 pandemic, showing only a 4% increase since the 2016 referendum compared to an 8% increase in the Eurozone and a 15% increase in the US. UK trade volumes are approximately 15% lower than those in comparable countries, primarily due to increased trade barriers with the EU. Furthermore, investment in the UK has faltered, reflecting the uncertainty and reduced business confidence post-referendum. And when political narratives collapse under the weight of their own contradictions, what's left for the public to believe? Making Brexit work, a pledge by 4 UK leaders over 8 years that led to national decline. Theresa May, Prime Minister 2016 to 2019. May was primarily focused on navigating the complexities of Brexit after the referendum. early in her term, she activated Article 50, starting Brexit without a solid strategy, leading to constrained EU negotiations due to her firm stance on key issues like free movement and trade agreements. Her focus on maintaining Conservative Party unity often cost her broader parliamentary support, culminating in her Brexit deal being rejected 3 times. Domestically, May prioritized social reforms, such as mental health and housing, but these were largely overshadowed by Brexit challenges. Known for her reserved and methodical style, often described as robotic, she struggled with public communication, impacting her leadership perception. Ultimately, her inability to gain parliamentary backing for her Brexit plan led to her resignation in 2019. Boris Johnson, Prime Minister 2019 to 2022. Johnson's tenure significantly shaped the UK's exit from the EU, focusing on fulfilling the referendum's mandate but leading to diplomatic and economic challenges. Johnson aggressively pushed to finalize Brexit, setting firm lines on EU negotiations and implementing policies to establish new trade barriers. This aimed to regain sovereignty, but strained relationships with key allies. His term saw attempts to forge new global trade partnerships crucial to post-Brexit plans. Johnson's governance was marked by rapid policy shifts affecting various sectors, contributing to economic instability. His prioritization of political success over substantive policy led to criticism and controversy, impacting his popularity and political standing. Liz Truss, Prime Minister 2022. Truss's brief tenure as Prime Minister in 2022 was marked by ambitious but controversial economic policies. Her approach, which included significant tax cuts in the mini-budget, led to market turmoil, impacting the value of the pound and causing economic instability. Internationally, she was vocal in her criticism of the EU. Despite her resignation after just 49 days, making her the shortest-serving Prime Minister in UK history, Truss remains a significant figure in British politics. She continues to promote her free market policies through public appearances and her book, suggesting she has unfinished business and hinting at a potential return to frontline politics. Her legacy is a disaster of bold initiatives that sparked economic upheaval and deep political division. Rishi Sunak, Prime Minister 2022 to present. Sunak has focused on stabilizing the UK economy and restoring international credibility. His approach has been measured, aiming to balance migration control with economic needs and stabilize trade relationships post-Brexit. Sunak's government faced setbacks in its Brexit trade agenda, with talks with Canada collapsing and slow progress with India. Turning to the Gulf states, particularly Saudi Arabia and the UAE, Sunak aims to secure a free trade agreement to boost the economy. However, negotiations with the Gulf Cooperation Council (GCC) have shown limited progress, with any potential deal expected to marginally improve Britain's current WTO trade terms. The government's rejection of an EU offer for a youth mobility scheme post-Brexit in April 2024 has raised questions about its approach to international partnerships and labor mobility. Is it necessary for the UK to reassess its relationship with the EU for its future? And could rejoining the EU be a viable or necessary step to regain its global standing?